Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. And yes, the shit show continues. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about, hey, I thought we were going to be done with TSR, but oh, no. Something else popped up today in my feed. And then I did a little research, and then people sent me screenshots, and bags of shit appeared. So, what's the latest? Well, TSR filed their suit against Wizards of the Coast December 7th. They filed in the wrong venue on the 9th. They said, hey, all right, yeah, we're in the wrong venue. I guess we got to withdraw without prejudice, so therefore we can refile in the correct venue. So why file on the 7th? Why file when you likely knew? Every lawyer I've spoken to has said that's beyond a rookie mistake. A first-year law student wouldn't make that mistake. How is this law firm making that mistake? Well, it's because, in my humble opinion, and mark you, I'm saying opinion, Wizards of the Coast shot across the bow first. Wizards of the Coast filed a suit in the Patent and Trademark Office over the TSR, the Game Wizards trademark or trade design mark or whatever you want to call it. So, and what did they charge in their dispute? They charged fraud. And why is fraud interesting? Because it was pointed out to me in the U.S. Code. Civil liability for false or fraudulent registration. Any person who shall procure registration in the Patent and Trademark Office of a mark by a false or fraudulent declaration or representation, oral or in writing, or by any false means, shall be liable in a civil action by any person. And when I say person, that also includes corporations. Corporations are persons in this case, injured thereby for any damages sustained in consequence thereof. Okay. Well, what would damages be? Well, damages would be, I'm sure, legal costs, right? That's damage. How much do you think Wizards of the Coast law firm is charging them for any kind of legal action? I'm sure a lot more than Justin Humphreys is charging Justin LaNasa. So, let's get to the second ground for cancellation, fraud. All right. On information and belief, registrant, has committed fraud on the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in connection with U.S. trademark application number. And this shit's too fucking long to read. Yeah, there I go. I got the cough button in place. Registered obtained registration XX675 with actual knowledge of the use of the TSR design mark with the services claimed by registration XX675 by petitioner. Registrant does not own the exclusive right to use the TSR design mark for the services claimed by registration number XXX675. Registrant therefore obtained registration of the TSR design mark with actual knowledge that it does not own the exclusive rights to use the mark for the services claimed by registration number, again, XXX in the US. Here's the fun part. And here is where it gets juicy. On August 19th, 2020, registrant filed the application to register the TSR design mark, and in the application, registrant represented in a declaration and under oath, that, and by the way, I know a lot of people go, hey, I just sign stuff and I don't worry about it being under oath or whatever. When you sign a legal document, you're signing a legal document. Know what you're signing and know what you're actually saying. Now, maybe Justin's excuse is this is what my lawyer said for me to do. Well, then get a new fucking lawyer coming up. Represented in a declaration and under oath that, to the best of its knowledge and belief, no other persons, except, if applicable, concurrent users, have the right to use the mark in commerce, either in the identical form or in such near resemblance as to be likely, when used on or in connection with the goods services of such other persons, to cause confusion or mistake or to deceive. The registrant did not file a concurrent use application and therefore did not identify any concurrent users of the TSR design mark. The registrant instead claimed in the application the exclusive right to use the TSR design mark throughout the entire United States. The declaration made under oath contained in the allegation to register the TSR design mark was signed on August 18, 2020 by Justin LaNasa, owner of registrant. The foregoing representations made under oath by Justin LaNasa were false at the time they were made. So, now we have, I believe, at least as a layman, and I've talked to some legal minds in our gaming community. This is the reason why there was a rush by TSR to get a summary judgment, because the legal costs for this trademark is going to be huge. Even if at this point TSR said, "All right, you know what? No harm, no foul. We'll relinquish it. We're sorry." Wizards is going to take their pound of flesh. So, what do they do? What does TSR do? They realize we have to preempt this. We have to, and I will give credit where credit is due. We have to go on the offensive. And how do we do that? We are going to look for a summary judgment that will hopefully void Wizards of the Coast ownership of all of these trademarks that we tried to register or did register and have since relinquished. But we're going to try to have it declared that Wizards of the Coast doesn't have ownership. Now, it might not be TSR having ownership, but if Wizards doesn't have ownership, they don't have standing. And if they don't have standing, you can't have fraud. That's my understanding of what's going on. Is it likely to be resolved that way? From the legal minds I've spoken to, no. I refer to it as you're throwing a Hail Mary pass 65 yards into the end zone with 3 defenders around and your receiver is 5'7". Could the ball land where it needs to land? It could. Is it likely? No. So, you're, and is it, but is it a little, oh, God, when Justin comes out and says, we're fighting this fight and we filed suit against Wizards of the Coast, he forgot to mention that they filed suit against him first, right? So I'm going to ask rhetorically, if you're somebody who is inclined to support new TSR because they're fighting the good fight and they want to determine ownership of these properties from Wizards of the Coast, and that's why you're and they're going to fight the statement of wokeness in legacy products. Would you still give them money if you found out that they were being sued for fraud over their trademarks? Would you? Think about it. You know, it's one thing like, oh, well, we're being sued by fraud, but we don't think we committed fraud really. But hey, we're going to fight for these trademarks that we haven't even used because we've been afraid to really use them because we had to relinquish all of them, right? Oh, and as an aside, Justin and company have been very busy playing 3D chess throughout this whole thing, snagging design marks. I was calling them graphical trademarks or graphical representations. Here they're calling them design marks. Okay. They were playing 3D chess and grabbing all this, but it wasn't until August of 2021 that they realized we never actually snagged the TSR trademark, the actual letters. So they've been busy playing 3D chess, and they forgot how to play checkers. And that's unforced fouls. This is all unforced fouls. I'm sure there's a way you could have done this without pissing on yourself. But it is what it is. I am not a fan of Wizards of the Coast. I'm not a hater either. They don't really do anything or produce anything that affects me these days. I am appreciative that there are PDFs and reprints available that I can purchase, and I am disappointed that this statement is the legacy statement is put on the pages at One Bookshelf and in One Bookshelf subsidiaries when you want to look at this stuff. I don't believe it's actually in the material itself, but I could be wrong. I haven't purchased anything since the legacy statement was added to the sales pages. I don't know. If you know, let me know. I'd be interested in finding out. In any case, this was informative, right? So now you know why money is needed. It's not so much necessarily for the lawsuit that TSR filed, but it's to defend themselves against the fraud allegation in the Trademark and Patent Office. All right. Folks, at some point I hope to get back to normal gaming related, not this bag of shit related updates, but keep you current with what's going on. We, Mike and I, are trying to get a legal mind or two to appear on one of the Talking Crits. We'll see what we can accomplish. No guarantees. All right, folks. On that note, we're still in the midst of the world of the pandemic. I'm immunized. I'm not saying get immunized. I had comorbidities. I have comorbidities up the ass. For me, it was a wise choice, but I made that with my medical professionals. I didn't make it on my own. Mask or don't mask, again, that's decisions that you have to make. But make a decision using your common sense and confirming with a medical professional that you trust. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice. And yeah, I'm sure more people are pinging me about this. Yep. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Hopefully, no more TSR. I'm tapping out. All right. Laters.